Hi, my name is John Fortnite, and this just in. A suspicious masked man by the name of Jake, no last name, just Jake, has been arrested for, well, take a look.
No, I did not kill anybody. I will not be taking any more questions.
Oh, look, I know that guy.
Before going to jail, Jake will have his day in court. He does not yet have a lawyer, but whoever that ends up being will be very busy. This is John Fortnite, signing off.
Jake better be getting a solid lawyer. Speaking of the devil. Hey, Jake. Was literally just watching a news report about you. You're looking for a lawyer?
Yeah, I actually found one.
Oh, cool. Hopefully your lawyer helps put you in the clear.
Yeah, about that. You're gonna do it. You're gonna be my lawyer.
Ha, good one, Jake. You can always count on your sense of humor. Wait. You're being serious?
I am 330% serious.
Dude, I have, no law experience. What do you expect me to do?
I don't know, go to law school or something?
Okay, yeah, I'll just go to law school.
Alrighty then, I'll see you in 2 days.
Wait, it's in 2 days? Oh, he hung up on me. What the hell? I have no law experience. What am I supposed to do? I guess I can withdraw from the case, but... Actually... I got a better idea.
Courtroom dramas. They can be interesting whether it's a movie or a show, but it's rare to see a courtroom game. Is it because it's hard to make interesting for a video game? Or is it because one game already perfected that? That game, of course, being Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. One of Capcom's best-selling franchises, and Phoenix Wright himself ended up becoming something of a mascot for Capcom, even making a playable appearance in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, along with the series getting a live-action movie and an anime.
All this that I'm saying about a visual novel video game series about a lawyer. So, it must be impactful. But here's the catch. I've never played a single Ace Attorney game. Yeah, I know. So I figured if I'm going to be Jake's lawyer, and I really don't have a choice in the matter, why not learn from the best and play Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney? But I gotta look the part, I'm not really dressed professionally right now, so... And there we go. Why is the camera like that? Who played this prank on me and decided to show everyone that I'm wearing shorts? Who did that? Anyways, let's go play Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney.
So immediately we are thrown into a case with this guy, Larry Butts. What is he accused of? Murdering his girlfriend.
Damn, starting off with a bang. Like a bang. Like one of those. Oh shit, we're already in court? That's how that works? Oh no. He's not prepared! Wait, what? I thought I was learning from the best! Phoenix Wright is new? He's never been to a trial before? Jake, I'm sorry, but you're fucked.
So the judge asks Phoenix some questions just to test him. I answered all 3 of them correctly, and now the court hearing can proceed as Larry Butts is called to the stand.
Yo, chill! You're in court, Larry! You can't be acting like that, man!
I gotta say, I love the animations and reactions of each character. It's very anime-pilled, if that makes sense. As for the court hearing, it turns out that the victim, who Larry was dating, and that's why he's suspected of murder, just came back from an overseas trip, and now I have her passport. So now Mr. Payne, the other lawyer in this case, keeps pressing Larry about his ex-girlfriend, trying to turn his opinion against her.
That's not right, though. I should step in and be a lawyer. Even my assistant Mia agrees. Okay, I think Larry needs to calm down. Also, apparently Phoenix Wright's name is Nick. Never knew that.
So before we get to the fun and flashy part, we find out that Larry actually did visit his ex the day of the murder. He also tells the judge to chill. Can you imagine that? The prosecution objects to Larry, saying that he didn't see her as they call a witness to the stand. This fucking goof named Mr. Saw It.
Oh, I get it, 'cause he saw it? He was a witness? Except I think he did it. I mean, look at that fucking face. He absolutely did it.
Mr. Sod gives his testimony, basically explains how he walked by and saw the woman on the ground dead. There was also apparently a blackout where the victim lived at the time of the murder with actual paperwork as evidence to prove it. Then I get to cross-examine the witness. This then introduces into the game the ability to press and object.
But now we got to the point where we can question someone. So let's do it.
So blah blah, cross-examination stuff. I did lose some health.
That's right, did you know Phoenix Wright has a health bar?
I remember the time exactly. It was 1 p.m.
Wait a second. Let me check my stuff.
Time of death, 4 p.m. to 5 p.m.
Oh no. Mr. Saw It.
Objection!
This is trivial. The witness merely forgot the time.
Oh yeah? Well, he seemed pretty certain it was 1 o'clock. That's right, get fucked, Mr. Payne and Mr. Saw It. More like Mr. Did It. Can't say that yet. We don't know for a fact that he did it.
So now Mr. Saw It gives a new testimony. But what's this? You see, when I found the body, I heard the time.
But there was a blackout at that time, wasn't there?
Objection!
You saw the time. You saw it.
Yeah, the murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim.
Mr. Saw It, the murder weapon is not a clock, it's a statue. We learned this at the very early beginning of the game, where it was established that the murder weapon was this statue that I lost the footage for because it got corrupted. That's not even a joke. It actually got corrupted. Like, there's a good bit of footage I have that I don't have anymore because it got corrupted. But still, you're full of shit, Mr. Saw It.
Objection!
Oh yeah, the epic music is playing. That's how you know it's getting good.
Hey, I saw it there, okay? That's a clock.
What do you mean that's a clock?
As it turns out, that statue is indeed a clock. It has a switch that says what time it is. Isn't that convenient?
I can turn this around. It's okay. I got this. Oh shit! Phoenix finally sees what all of us see!
So now it's getting really good. Mr. Saw is sweating, Mr. Payne is, well, he's in some serious pain, I'll tell you that. And Saw it. So now I get to play the clock and its sounds. It makes the sound of telling what time it is, and it's 3 hours slow. The exact amount of delay as what Saw It says. You forgot one thing.
Oh shit.
While it may seem like that clock is running 3 hours slow, it proves nothing. How do you know it was running 3 hours slow on the day of the murder? If you can't prove that, you don't have a case.
Fuck!
So now, the cross-examination has ended. Listen up, Wright. Don't throw this one away. Not like this. Think.
I don't know, man. I'm trying.
Ask yourself, why was the clock 3 hours slow?
I don't know. Nothing's coming to me. The victim was in Paris. Who is in Paris? No, but the delay is because of the time zones. I got it!
Take that!
Proof enough for you, Mr. Saw It? Or should I say, Mr. Did It?
Hey, that's what I said.
And then it happens.
That is not what I thought was gonna happen.
So now, Saw It has been arrested and taken away. The judge is impressed with Phoenix Wright, and the court ruled that Larry Butts is not guilty. We then find out that Saw It is indeed actually did it, and we learn exactly how he did it, and court is adjourned. I didn't know it then, but the clock was soon going to be at the center of another incident.
Oh. How?
So it turns out this game is episodic. Each chapter is their own story and case, and I finished the first case, but now there's another.
And I have experience in one court case, sure. But if I want to represent someone in court, I need at least one more. What happened to Miss Faye? No!
So yeah, Phoenix Wright's assistant, Mia, gets struck and killed with the clock statue from earlier. Next to her dead body, there is a piece of paper with the name Maya written in blood. Maya turns out to be Mia's younger sister, who has been framed for murdering Mia, as Detective Gumshoe, who I never mentioned till now, arrests her. Also, this is the witness.
Just thought to point it out because it'll probably be very important later.
So before the court case, obviously I can gather evidence and talk to some people involved like Professor Gumshoe and the witness, whose name is April May.
I see what you did there.
By the way, April is, can I just say, very suspicious. So now the trial for Maya is in session, and the opposing attorney, Miles Edgeworth.
Miles fucking Edgeworth.
So Miles calls the first witness to the stand, that being Detective Gumshoe. He describes the murder and what he saw, gives us this visual. Gumshoe then gives his testimony, and now it's time for cross-examination as Maya throws Phoenix a piece of paper to help him out. You know, one thing you could do is, after everything he says, just press him on it and see what happens. Eventually, I did that, and the music stopped, which is usually a good thing, but I don't know what came over me, but I kept skipping through the dialogue, so I guess we'll never know what happened. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna add this in. I will show you text that explains why I did that for 2 seconds. But now Gumshoe has to give a testimony. Just gotta do the same thing over and over again, but this time, it doesn't really work. But what's this? Before she died, the victim wrote the killer's name.
I have a hunch that I could object to that.
Objection!
So it turns out the detective claimed that Mia had time to write a note before dying. However, according to the autopsy, Mia died immediately, so there's a contradiction.
Let's fucking go. Now Gumshoe's testimony falls apart. What?
So yeah, plot twist, Miles Edgeworth is 2 steps ahead as he got a more up-to-date autopsy report done for Mia that says that Mia did not die immediately after being struck. She may have lived for like a couple of minutes or so.
Miles fucking Edgeworth. The perfect suit, the nice hair, the way he presents himself, the way he talks. God, I hate him so much!
Why, Mr. Wright, you look shocked.
And he knows it too. He knows how perfect he is.
He now calls the second witness to the stand, April May, the woman who originally reported the murder and seemed very suspicious when meeting with her earlier.
That did not just happen.
Lady, you're in court. Put them away. Order! An introduction should not require any reaction from the crowd.
What kind of a reaction are you talking about?
Okay, so now that the courtroom is done gooning over the witness, April's testimony is now being cross-examined. So let's see if I can object to anything. So I pressed April on a comment she made about the physique of Maya, and it just leads to everyone arguing about the physique of her as in Maya, which I think is very funny, but it does start to show some cracks in April's testimony, and now she gives a new one. That clock, the kinda statue-y clock, the thinker, I think.
Now, Miss May, how did you know that was a clock?
Objection!
So yeah, Phoenix is really questioning April's testimony. April claims she heard the clock, but turns out the clock is missing its clockwork, and is completely defective as of now.
Miles fucking Edgeworth. Why is he so good at this? I don't know, man. Can I? Oh, earlier when I was talking to April, one thing I didn't mention is that she had a random ass wire tape in her house. I'm on to you, April. And you too, Miles. You're not that good.
Take that!
Oh. Yeah, it doesn't really make much sense, come to think of it. I don't know, let's try using maybe the phone?
Take that!
Let's go! The music played! That's how you know I'm right!
So it turns out, I really say that a lot. There are some voice recordings on the phone. Miles is showing weakness. Phoenix then presents some more evidence to disprove some of the other stuff April is saying. And then she does this.
Yeah, it's sure gonna do you a world of good. Oh shit. When the pursuit music kicks in, that's how you know I'm right.
But then it happens. Phoenix actually accuses April of killing Mia herself. And
Objection!
Miles. Fucking Edgeworth.
but then April mentions a bellboy from the hotel she was staying at. Remember that, okay? I then use the wiretap from earlier, and it actually works as evidence. Phoenix thinks that April tapped Mia's phone, and now the court doesn't like April that much. I present some more evidence, April loses her mind, and then I call the bellboy to the stand.
See? I told you it'd come back up later. Didn't say it'd be too much later.
So this is the bellboy. He gives his testimony, I cross-examine him, but he lets slip that April was with another guy at the time, and thus, the court will reconvene tomorrow. The next day comes and April is now in police custody, but I managed to get some intel on the guy she was with, and his name is Wright. And he basically confesses to the murder, but then frames Phoenix?
Not the development I was expecting, I'll be honest.
So then Phoenix Wright is in police custody, but he decides to represent himself and have Maya as his assistant. And now, court is in session.
Yeah, take that, Miles! Fucking Edgeworth. He's got an answer for everything. It's GG's.
So now Wright gives his testimony, and it's time to cross-examine him, and by that, I mean press him on literally everything. The victim ran to the left, and you gave chase.
Wait a second. If you look at the autopsy, it says victim dodged an attack, then ran to the right, but she was caught and struck. That contradicts what you said, Mr. White.
Objection!
So it turns out, going off of some evidence such as the floor sketch that we got earlier, the victim was in fact struck by both the right and the left. So Mr. White gets off of this one, at least.
God damn it, Miles Edgeworth is never satisfied. God, I want to be just like him.
However, Phoenix explains himself a bit, stating that the witness was not viewing the crime from the hotel, but rather in the office where the murder happened, perhaps being the murderer. And now, Wright gives a new testimony, and now I shall cross-examine him again. However, I noticed something. In White's testimony, he claims that Phoenix hit the victim twice. However, when checking the autopsy, it says she died from a blow.
Doesn't specify a singular blow, sure, but you'd think if it's like multiple blows, it would specify that at least.
Objection! Objection!
Oh my god, Miles, what do you want?
The witness is obviously confused, Your Honor. I would like to request a 10-minute break.
A 10-minute break? Fuck that, Edgeworth!
Objection!
So yeah, Mr. White now needs to give yet another testimony.
I don't know about you, but if you have to revise your testimony this many times, I feel like you should be kicked off the stand, but hey, that's just me. Don't listen to me, you know?
Anyways, I found a little slip-up where he says she ran for the door. I pressed him on it, asking him what he did at that point, where, well, take a look at what he says.
And that's how you get him.
But somehow he's not finished after that. But I did find another objection as he talks about the light stand when, well, how could he have seen that if he wasn't there? So Phoenix is pressing red on that. And it's getting heated as Mr. White... So it's pretty much over. All we need is a confession and...
Objection!
What do you mean, objection?
So Miles is trying to get Mr. White to confess his crime, but not the one you're thinking. He wants Mr. White to confess to the wiretap. Remember that from earlier? So he does. Red White confesses to the wiretap.
And now that he has confessed to using the wiretap, take a wild guess what happens next. Go on. I'll give you a second to take a guess. 1 second has passed. You want to know what happens? That's right! Another testimony! Yo!
So after the testimony, Miles mocks Phoenix just to rub it in how perfect he is, and all hope seems lost. Until...
Wait, what? I am so confused.
Didn't you know the Fae women have strong psychic powers?
Oh, silly me. No, I did not expect that to come up in a game about lawyers. No, I didn't know that. Idiot.
So yeah, turns out Mia is still alive through Maya's psychic abilities, and gives me one piece of evidence that should seal the deal. The other side of the note that had Maya written in blood. You see, it was a receipt. But if you show what was on the receipt, like the item, how much money, and the time, it confirms that Mr. White is the murderer.
Objection! Objection!
No! No! You're kidding me!
Edgeworth tries to extend the trial to another day, but Phoenix objects, to no avail. But then Maya objects, handing Phoenix Mia's memo, and that does it, as the court finds Phoenix right.
And we're gonna call it quits on Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. My thoughts? Well...
This game is awesome. The aesthetic is really cool, all the little expressions and animations in the game make the game very flashy, the music is epic, and a lot of critical thinking goes into this game. All that for a visual novel about a lawyer. I find most visual novels fucking boring, but this one is really flashy for one, and very flashy for a courtroom game as I like to call it. It's also worth noting that I did not play the original version of this game, but rather a remaster included in the 2019 Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy that also includes sequels, Justice for All and Trials and Tribulations. But it's also worth noting that some of the other esteemed attorneys from this franchise got their own series of games that also got remastered collections. One character who we haven't met today but became a fan favorite is Apollo Justice, who has his own game which was then later remastered in the Apollo Justice trilogy that also included Dual Destinies and Spirit of Justice, and even Miles fucking Edgeworth got his own 2 games with the Ace Attorney Investigation series. And if that's not enough, Phoenix Wright himself even crossed over with Professor Layton, all of which were very well received.
So yeah, this is a rare example where I do an episode of the show and I touch on a game where there's not really anything too bad about it. And sure, maybe some of the later games are more worth playing, but the original Phoenix Wright is still a classic. Oh wait, I have a court hearing to go to. And I just learned, by the way, that it's not just any court hearing. You know, it's not just any trial. You know, there's no courtroom. It's the worst kind. It doesn't take place in the courtroom like I just said, but it takes place where truly nothing goes right.
Welcome everyone. Court is now in session. Is the prosecution ready?
The prosecution is ready, Your Honor.
Good to hear, Mr. Kong.
Actually, it's Kermit Kong.
Good to hear, Mr. Kong. And is the defense ready?
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
Good to hear, Mr. Solo.
I'm so fucking guilty.
Dude, shut the fuck up.
So this is the trial of Jake. No last name, just Jake. And the trial for the murder of Alan.
Alan?
Yeah, Jake allegedly murdered Alan. You were made aware of this before attending the trial today, right, Mr. Solo?
Yeah, obviously, yeah. Shit, I haven't heard from Alan in a hot minute. I think Jake might have done it.
Mr. Jake, could you possibly mute yourself, or tell whoever is vacuum to knock it off?
Oh, yeah, of course. Sorry, Your Honor. Shut the fuck up!
Okay, so it's my understanding that the prosecutor, Mr. Kong,
You could just call me Kermit Kong.
I will have you removed from the meeting if you continue to interrupt me.
Alright, fine. Sorry, Your Honor.
Thank you. Now, as I was saying, Mr. Kong, you have prepared a statement.
That is correct, Your Honor.
Now, would you care to read that statement to the court?
No.
God damn it. No!
I'm kidding. Chill. I have the statement right here. Jake is guilty, and to prove that, I call Greg the video game nut to the stand.
Damn, Miles Edgeworth really scared me. This prosecutor is nothing like him.
Alright, Mr. Nutt.
You can just call me Greg.
Do not interrupt me. Damn it.
Sorry, Your Honor, it won't happen again.
Anyways, Mr. Nutt, let's hear your testimony.
Right, so once I got out of the boiler room...
Objection!
You said this shit like a year ago. What is it with you in boiler rooms, dude?
Overruled, Mr. Solo. Shut it.
Wait, what?
As I was saying, I got out of the boiler room that I was stuck in, and I saw Alan dead on the floor.
Objection!
How'd you know it was Jake who killed Alan?
Sustained, Mr. Solo. Makes a good point.
Well, if you let me finish and didn't interrupt me, I was gonna say that Jake was there, and he just said it was him.
Mr. Jake, is this true? It's a simple question, Mr. Jake.
Shit, Jake is already in shambles. I gotta do something.
This isn't a good look for you.
Objection!
Your Honor, Jake doesn't need to answer that question.
Did you just object the judge?
Yeah, I guess I did. It's kind of weird.
Oh hey guys, sorry I'm late. I hope I'm not interrupting anything.
I thought you died.
Oh yeah, I did, but I chose to drop all the charges.
Oh,